These locals moved to Melton to find an affordable house. They came and built a community. This event is marking the Muslim festival of Eid, organised by these local women.
We invite people from different cultures, different ethnicities, and we wanted them to know us and we want to know them.
Yes, please be patient.
Sonia moved to Australia about 4 years ago and loves her multicultural neighbourhood in Melbourne's west.
My neighbour is from Nepal, one neighbour, the other one is from Malaysia. The front is from, the one who lives opposite to my house is from Kerala, India, and another one, she lives in Pakistan.
There's a reason her family chose to settle in this part of Australia.
There were good schools here, property was affordable, that was the main thing.
There is only one drawback for Sonia.
How much time do you spend in your car every day or week?
Oh, yeah. That's a lot. Sometimes like 4 hours I'm driving.
This area is one of the fastest growing in the country. I'm meeting the local Labor-aligned mayor, who says the road and rail system can't keep pace with the population.
We've got a lot of new migrant groups that are coming into the city of Melton, and they want connection to their community, and they come out here for family, which is great. So we're growing very fast, but we've got the issues around infrastructure, public transport not keeping up.
The vast majority of permanent migrants who've come to Australia since 2000 have moved to the capital cities. New arrivals figures from the last financial year show about 33% moved to Melbourne, about 32% to Sydney, 14% to Perth and about 12% to Brisbane. The rest was split up amongst the other capitals and a small portion to regional areas.
Let's be clear, housing is unaffordable in Australia, but that is not the result of what we've been seeing in the migration numbers.
A number of Australians wrote to ABC Your Say and said they thought immigration in Australia was too high. New data from ABC Vote Compass found 49% of the 330,000 respondents wanted somewhat or many fewer immigrants in Australia. About 30% wanted the same levels as now, and just 16% wanted more. Now that's a shift from the 2022 Vote Compass results, where about 49% wanted more. Meanwhile, a Lowy Institute poll conducted last year found about 48% of Australians thought immigration in Australia was too high, and that had only shifted 1% from the same poll in 2019.
Net overseas migration, after plummeting during the pandemic, surged really high for a couple of years after borders reopened. However, now, as the arrivals catch up is slowing down and departures are increasing, we're seeing net overseas migration plummet again.
Fairfield in Sydney's west has a long history of welcoming migrants and still sees one of the city's highest rates of new arrivals. But the independent mayor here says they can't cope anymore.
Well, we are a very welcoming community. We've always been a settlement city.
Should we take a seat and have a chat about some of the other things going on in Fairfield?
We just feel that sometimes the government uses the western suburbs to populate this country, but not necessarily puts back the infrastructure that is needed to maintain all of our quality of life. Because Fairfield used to be very affordable. Unfortunately, it's not affordable anymore. Rents are high, prices of houses are high. Quite simply, how many more people can you fit in? If you look at Fairfield, Fairfield's full.
There are absolutely some pressure points in the country. We've pushed the housing onto the fringe of the cities, which means that you've got people who are working age, on lower incomes, have longer commutes, living further from the city than they ideally want to.
The new areas like Camden, where
Frank Carbone says the solution is sustainable migration. But what do the experts think?
Rather than the idea that, certain areas face, too much of the load of migration, it's more a failure of effective city planning.
There's no magic number for the level of migrants in a society. It's really shaped by the norms and expectations of that society. The most important thing is that we make that decision based on facts about what's going on, and we try not to do things too drastically.
Back in Melton, there's a race to build even more homes.
The City of Melton's definitely you're carrying the load for the state, so it's beautiful to live in a community that is rich in diversity, but more needs to be done in investment in our roads and rail.
Communities across the country feeling the pinch.